Atlanta sports fans, welcome into another great edition of that Atlanta Sports Show. Been a minute since we've done this one, so welcome in. I'm Jeremy the Impact York from Impact Media. I don't know. This looks like a cool shirt to wear today. And, if you're hanging out in places like this, seems like the kind of place there is. Now, for those of you who do want to know, I was seeing what happened to Gonzalo Pineda since he got let go from Atlanta. I haven't seen him in a while. I went looking. I didn't see him this way. I didn't see him this way. Is he? No, I didn't see him that way either. He's around though. Apparently he's out doing soccer things. But good for him. But people that are new to the show probably want to know how in the world I got my own show. Well, it's my channel. Secondly, the or this rather that Atlanta Sports Show is all about Atlanta United and the Atlanta Falcons. Got a little bit of notes and news on both. But before we do, if you want to help the show and you want to see more from the show, go to our YouTube channel, Impact_Media_, and subscribe to the show. We have everything from this show. We have a lot of wrestling and MMA content. There's some other football, and actually in the fall we will have a lot more of our college coverage coming out as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. Please go subscribe to the show. Leave us a rating, review, comment, suggestion, like all that fun stuff. It helps the show. It helps it keep it free, which is the way I want to keep it. I want to make it to where you guys don't have to pay for the content here, I hope you just enjoy it. Because that way you're getting your money's worth. If you paid $0 for it, you're getting your money's worth. Either way, no, just kidding. Let's start with the Falcons. It is the discussion I've had with more people recently, which is weird. Thought more people would want to talk about United because coaching change and everything like that. But no, the Falcons, we know tampered. Everybody, why is there even a tampering period? Either way, supposedly they were found guilty of tampering thanks to Kirk Cousins saying things out loud that he probably shouldn't have. And I think Darnell Mooney was another one, and the tight end or something. I don't know. There's like 2 or 3 players they potentially tampered with, which means they contacted them illegally, aka before they were supposed to. Everybody does it. They just got caught. Remember, famously a couple years ago, Miami got the hammer dropped on them for having a offshore means they were on a boat. It was not in the harbor. Offshore meeting with Tom Brady and Sean Payton a couple years ago when they were both still members of other teams. Maybe Sean Payton may have been let. No, I think he was still with the Saints at that point. But regardless, and I believe some of the Dolphins front office personnel were on said boat as well. It's terrible. I understand why you did it. You tried to do it offshore where nobody knew about it. Guess what? Everybody knew about it. And they lost like first-round picks and tons of money. And Dolphin fans are really upset now because the NFL has dropped the proverbial, not really a hammer, kind of more paper here. It's not scissors. Definitely not rock. Kind of dropped the paper on the Atlanta Falcons for tampering with Kirk Cousins, Darnell Mooney, and I guess the tight end. I honestly, I think it's just with Kirk Cousins. They have been docked. The punishment has been handed down. Next year, they're going to lose a 5th-round pick and was it 250,000 or 25,000? That money's irrelevant. I think it was $250,000 in a fine, and that's it. That is completely it. Now the Eagles are also being investigated for tampering with Saquon Barkley, I believe, and I think they're going to probably lose a third round pick. That's just my guess. Now, why the Falcons only get lose a fifth round pick and a chunk of money? Couple reasons. You really want to know a couple reasons? This is mostly speculation by me, but it's educated speculation. I think it has to do with that they came clean about it. And as soon as Kirk Cousins said it and they realized that the league got alerted, they said, you know what? He's correct. He's correct. We did. We were just trying to reach out to gauge his interest. We could have reached out through his agent. Instead, we reached out to him. I think they invited him to dinner. They did something like that. It arranged a special meeting that they're not supposed to do, but they came clean about it. And I think the league said, all right, well, we caught you. Put your hand in the cookie jar. You put the cookie back, put the lid back on, and you actually cleaned up the crumbs off the counter. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. And factor number two that I think helped them is that front office personnel, aka man, he's either number two or number three in the Falcons organization, with Arthur Blank being number one, depending on how you want to look at it. Rich McKay is really good at two things. Rich McKay is great at building stadiums. Great at building stadiums. Raymond James Stadium, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. He's had something to do with a couple other ones too. Those are the two masterpieces he has helped get done. And he is also really good because he has friends and is really in with a lot of top brass in the NFL. I'm not saying it's more special leniency than it is a favor. This is not Rich McKay calls up Roger Goodell and says, hey, can we take it easy on our Falcons here? Roger Goodell goes, oh, of course, Rich, you're my favorite. No, that's not what happened. No, I think that he called him behalf and said, look, we admitted it. We're ready to accept whatever needs to be done. And, you know, let's just go from there. That, whatever you need us to do, whatever, if you need to look further into the investigation, we're at your beck and call. And I think the league looked at that and they said, all right, Rich, we appreciate you doing that. And, Kurt admitted it and the team saying that, and they said, all right, we'll keep all this in mind. And so I think they went light on. Here's the other thing that's upsetting Miami fans right now. They went out of their way to try to get Tom Brady and Sean Payton, and it probably would have worked had Coach Flores not blew the whistle on all of it. Really, that's really what happened. And the worst part of it for Miami fans, I brought this up to a Miami fan that was so upset today, and I said, here's the bad thing. Not only did you get the more severe penalty, you didn't get either person. Sean Payton didn't work for your organization. Tom Brady does not work for your organization. None of them came to your team. Atlanta is keeping all the people they tampered with. All of them. Every one of them. There was somebody within the league that kind of had this anonymous comment that said, if I could get the top free agent quarterback for a fifth round pick and a big fine, I'll take that all day long. Looked like the Falcons won. Looked like the Falcons won this one to me. What do you guys think? In the comments there, let me know. You think the Falcons got done a big favor? Do you think they got what they should have? You think it should have been more? If you're a Falcons fan, are you excited that this is, I don't know, costing you, I don't know, a 20-year-old wide receiver or a special teams gunner, and they don't even have those really anymore? I mean, what were you going to get in the fifth round anyway? Just the 48th person on the roster. It's fantastic. Like I said, comments below. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm completely off base. Tell me if I'm full of it. Probably am. But I mean, tell me what you think. Uh, Falcons fans, good for you. Now here's the best thing. Uh, zip the lips on this and move on from it. Because if you keep making a big deal and keep rubbing everybody's nose in this, the NFL will crack down harder on you next time. You're better off going, yep, whoop, won't never do that again. So sorry about that. We'll never see us again, sir. Walk on down the road. Fun stuff, right? All right. Let's get into some United talk. Big match coming up this weekend where Coach Rob Valentino is see if we can find had it on. There we go. Atlanta United's got a big matchup against Houston, against the Dynamo this weekend. It's big for a lot of reasons. Big because they are hanging around that final playoff spot. I still think they're probably a 4 seed this year by the time it's all said and done. But they need a big win after a little bit of a slide. This game is at home because had we already not been booked for something else, you'd probably be at this game. This would be a fun game to go to. But it's big because Rob Valentino is back as the interim head coach. Second time through, he did okay last time. For one, he was such a change of pace. This is something Mike Conti said, and Doug Robertson reiterated that Mike Conti said this last time. Let's keep in mind that when Rob took over that team before, it's because Heinze had beaten them into the floor, had basically overtrained them all to where they just didn't like him anymore. Most, if not all, of this team right now still likes Pineda. I think he's an okay guy. It's management that decided we got to do something different. This is just not working. It's fine. Players aren't mad about it. It's part of the game. Just like players moving teams. We'll talk about that in a second. But this is a big game for Rob Valentino. I think he will have bigger teams. I mean, bigger games coming up. Because let's give him 3 games to really get the ball rolling. Let's see what happens in 3 games. Hey, if they end up with a couple wins before then, great. But he's got to set it up the way he wants it set up. And he seems like a person that's adaptable. So he'll look at the talent he has and he'll adjust the scheme that way. And the way the defense is going to play him, he's going to adjust. And the way the opposing offense plays against him, he's going to adjust his defense. I expect to see Brad back in goal. I think they gave him a game off after his red card so that he could get a little more things under him, get another day of rest. Cohen did a good job, but it's Valentino's time right now to show that maybe he can be the guy going forward, or that he uh, is just one of the best interim coaches in the history of the world. Now they're going to have to do it without Stian Gregerson, without Bartosz Slees, Saba Lobanice, and Gigi. All 4 of them are, I believe, in call-ups for international duty. It's just a weird time of the summer when all that happens. Speaking of Gigi, there is the rumor about him and Cruz Azul. Well, here's one thing to keep in mind. So far, it's just talk. We don't know if they're talking in this direction. We don't know if somebody made this up and somebody's just running with it, which is very possible. But we also know that he has not been to Mexico to talk with them, speak with them, take a physical, anything like that. That's kind of like speculating that your neighbor is going to start working at a different job. He may be a different company. Well, has he spoken to that company? No. Has he been to the facility where that new company is? No. Has he expressed interest in leaving the company he's at now or potentially going to that company? No. Hmm. That's weird. Well, what makes you think he's going to that company? I mean, it could still happen. But I mean, at this point, it's the same thing I said last time. This is Falcons fans trying to get Justin Fields down here, and Falcons fans were the only ones talking about that rumor. There was never a media person that validated it. Right now, I'm listening to Doug Robertson. I mean, not as we speak, but Doug Robertson is boots on the ground wherever the Atlanta United goes. He's there. I'm listening to um, Mike Conti, listening to Jason Longshore and the Soccer Down Here guys. Listen to those guys because they are boots on the ground, standing next to the team as they move. If those people start talking about it, I mean, if they say it's rumor, then it's rumor. If they start saying there are legs to some of this or they heard this or that, that is when I would try to run with this stuff. But we can sit here and speculate and make up stuff all day long. We could say that um, Mbappe is going to come to Charlotte. Now, okay, just because somebody said it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Doesn't mean it can't happen. It's pretty high out there. I think maybe Gigi has thought about playing outside of Yakimakis has thought about playing outside United. He loves it in United. He has said he expressed that tons of times, and not like oh, I love it because I'm employed here. No, no, no. The fans really embrace him. He loves the area. He has said that. That doesn't mean he's going to be a permanent resident. Doesn't mean he's not. At this point, though, he can explore options, and if he doesn't like the direction of the team, maybe he likes Rob Valentino and things start to smooth out, and he loves it. Or maybe he sees the writing on the wall and says, I'm not going to sit through another coaching change, or I'm not going to sit through a coaching change and hope that this team puts it all together and gets better in the next couple years. Like I'm ready to play now and win now, and maybe he is. I understand. Once again, that goes back to your neighbor with the company. Maybe he's at a really good company, but he sees a company with this big growth that is just going to just blow the doors off and just smash right through the glass ceiling, and he wants to be a part of that. It's understandable. We've all went through that at some point. You may go through it now. So until we know more legs about it, I will address the rumors here and stuff, but I don't see any reason why Gigi is going to leave this squad unless either him and Rob don't get along or some sort of rift between him and management. Maybe he feels like maybe he wants to be a little more involved in picking the next coach. Maybe as one of the top stars, I could understand that point from him. If you're going to let players sit in, though, I would rather it be either Brad Guzan or Lennon, one of those guys. But your top scorer won't sit in. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. But other than that, big game. Like I said, I think it's 7 p.m. this Saturday, and it's at the Benz. It's against the Houston Dynamo. This is a game they can win. Game Atlanta United can win. I do believe they will win. And um, I will be watching once I get back from the event that I am at. I will be following along while I'm there, actually. Stay tuned to all of our social medias, the Impact 99, Impact underscore media underscore on YouTube. Come be a part of us. If you're at the event we're at, great. Let's come be a part of us. Let us know that you are a listener, watcher, follower of us, and we will make sure you're featured. We'll give you shout outs on the show, things like that. Make sure you subscribe to the show on YouTube, as I said. Working on guests. I know I say that all the time. I'm working on guests. Right now, the summer schedule is a little more chaotic than normal because a lot of the people I would have on here as guests are taking family vacations or are so close to the things that they do that it's hard for them to break away. But I promise you guys, if you guys keep watching the Impact Media Network, Board Check 99, our hockey content, as well as the Stanley Cup Finals, are coming to a close. Lots of fun stuff going on both of those. But that's going to do it for us. Another great edition of that Atlanta Sports Show, all about the Falcons and all about our United. I am your host, Jeremy the Impact York. We will see you guys next time. Deuces Gooses. Go watch Atlanta. Go watch the Falcons. And go Atlanta.